This is CTV News Channel.
Hello, I'm Kira Matucci. Tonight I will be interviewing Maurice Carmichael and Chris Hadfield. Chris was born and raised in Sarnia, Ontario, to Roger and Eleanor Hadfield. After graduating from high school, he went on to earn a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering with honors from the Royal Military College in Kingston, Ontario in 1982. Chris is a Canadian astronaut from the Canadian Space Agency, who was the first Canadian to walk in space. He is currently training for a long-duration stay aboard the ISS, which will include command of Expedition 35 in 2012. He will be the first Canadian to command the ISS. Tonight, our first guest will be Chris Hadfield. So, Chris, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, as you already said, I was born and raised here in Canada, in Sarnia. I joined the Air Cadet League when I was 12. Since then, I've always had a passion for flying.
So why exactly did you join Air Cadets?
Well, my father was Air Cadets, and he encouraged me to join.
So, how has Cadets impacted your life?
Cadets has done a great impact on me in terms of my personality. I would be nowhere near as much of a hard worker as I am now if it wasn't for Cadets. It also started my passion for flying, which got me into space.
That's interesting that you can use the Air Cadet program to learn more about aerospace. What other opportunities do you think Air Cadets have?
An Air Cadet can do absolutely anything. I have my full faith in that fact.
Thank you, Chris Hadfield, for coming and interviewing with us today. That was Chris Hadfield. He is quite the man. He will definitely be remembered for a very long time. Lieutenant Colonel Maurice Carmichael is an accomplished pilot who has become the first woman in Canadian history selected to fly with the famous Snowbirds aerobatic team. In November 2000, she was chosen to fly number 3 position with the 431 Air Demonstration Squadron. Born in Quebec City, Lieutenant Colonel Carmichael served as an Air Cadet from 1984 to 1988. She joined the Canadian Forces in 1990 and completed pilot training in 1994, receiving her wings in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. She then served as flying instructor and school operations officer and standard officer in Greenwood, Nova Scotia. While flying with the Snowbirds, Maurice was promoted to rank of major and became the team's executive officer. In May 2010, she was named as commander of the Snowbirds, becoming the first female pilot to lead the famous acrobatic squad. Please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Colonel Maurice Carmichael. It's an honor to have you here today.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
So, tell me your cadet story. What started your flying career?
Well, I started cadets at age 13, and from there I joined the military full-time 6 years later. I began as a flying instructor and flew with the 434 Combat Support Squadron in Greenwood, Nova Scotia, and transported VIPs to Ottawa.
What recognition have you gotten from being the first female pilot to fly with the Snowbirds?
Being the first woman to fly with the Snowbirds is really different. But now this posting, it's about commanding the squadron and commanding the men and women that represent the Canadian Forces across Canada.
So, how has your focus changed since you have joined the Snowbirds?
Well, all those years ago, it used to be about flying airplanes and meeting the Americans and Canadians you meet on the road every day. But now it's different. It's about the entire squadron. It's about leading the men and women of the 431 Squadron to accomplishing our goals every day. I guess in general you could say it's more of a broader focus now.
Because your focus is more broad, do you think that takes away from your home life?
No, not at all. My career has never gotten in the way of my home life. Right now I'm married to a fighter pilot and we have 2 beautiful young children who will one day grow into successful adults. Just do what I like to do, and that's flying, and I'm fortunate enough that it's worked out for me having a home life. But my main goal is to inspire young boys and girls to follow out their own passions.
As a young child, how did Air Cadets influence your life?
If I didn't join Air Cadets, I don't think I would be where I am today. It was the moment I first stepped into an airplane that I knew I would be out there getting my license as soon as I could. I guess you could say Air Cadets started my career. Through Air Cadets, I was able to find what I truly loved, and that's flying.
Born in Quebec, Maurice was 13 when she joined Air Cadets and gained her full pilot's license while still being a teenager. After joining the Canadian Forces and finishing her training, she had a distinguished career before joining the Snowbirds Precision Flying Team. And now she will command it. Thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you for inviting me to be on your show.
What an inspirational woman. It is good to hear about the accomplished women in Canadian history. Upcoming news in Stratford, Ontario. Legion Branch 8, 19 Squadron prepares for their annual review May 29th. This concludes our video. Special thanks to Mr. Crumbach and Mr. Reynolds for camera and computers, and to 19 Squadron for film rights and all cadets filmed. Have a good night. Thanks, guys.
For watching our video.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
Yeah, I could use a dream or a genie or a wish.